We're live, yeah. Doing the radio voice. How's it going, everybody out there?
In Radioland. Oh crap! Hold on.
What did you forget? And you just made it go crackling again. It is done.
I'm about to Batista this thing, and I quit. It's not nice to say something on camera, right? But if your best friend is saving food for later in his beard, should you tell him? So right there.
Yep.
He was saving some. We had some venison bratwurst for dinner. They're pretty damn good, actually.
So.
Just a piece right
Yeah,
there.
it was a little crunchy. Yeah, so.
Yeah. No, I was going to set up the podcast and do the podcast as well.
Right, because we got the new podcast set up.
Yeah.
And you can put
I need a charger to plug into the laptop to hook up over there.
Okay. And
so,
what was that through again?
It was podcast for Spotify.
Yeah.
So I think I'm still gonna do it and have it just over there or just laying down because it's audio.
Right.
It's not visual. It's just audio.
Okay.
My dear, is there an iPhone card over there? No. Could you get one?
If you hear me belching, I apologize.
Could you get me one?
It was the brat, and then this thing here.
It needs to plug in. I just need a charge.
So yes, we'll be doing a podcast also while we're doing this live.
There's one plug
on Spotify. So of course you can't get on YouTube. You can also check it out on Spotify. We'll be rolling it all together. We'll ignore these two as they talk in the background.
You know. I can plug USB-C.
So, I hope everybody's had a great week. It has been an interesting week
my phone charger
for entertainment. We've had quite a lot happen in this last week. So,
and that really hurt. I don't know if you heard that click. That was my finger.
That was your finger.
It went snap, crackle, doodle.
So, but yeah, and I'm going to preface everything we're going to talk about because, of course, we're going to talk about SmackDown, Raw, NXT. I think we're all, I know at least us, I'm sure everybody else out there we're ready for Mania.
It's next weekend.
I know, but still, even I'd rather it be this Saturday. I'm just ready for it to happen, and it's the anticipation at times feels like it's taking away from the shows.
Yeah.
And I know that they're still trying to hype the shows, but they're also like overhyping the show in the show. So yeah, I don't know. And like I said, it could be us because we're ready for Mania.
Yes. That one's ready for Mania more than I am, probably. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yes. Damn it! I forgot to turn the kitchen light off. It's creating so much background light. All right. Our producer is handling business. Business.
So
it's pronounced business.
Business.
Spelled BIDNISS. And this ding is gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Hold, please. I normally mute my phone.
Yeah, so hold your ding dings, okay?
My phone is muted. How about that?
I think it's this other stuff you got here that's going ding ding.
Ding ding.
Yeah.
Maybe my head rattling or something. I don't know.
So watch your ding-a-lings, okay? So let's go ahead and run off. I don't know what you're thinking about. I was thinking of a Chuck Berry song, My Ding-a-ling.
Oh yeah.
Come on now.
Yes.
Yes.
C charger?
No.
Oh my gosh.
My dear, I need an iPhone to USB-C. It's the white one that...
I have your white one. It's a freaking C charger, though.
It's probably the one in the car.
Huh?
It's probably the one that you left plugged in the car.
Well, then go get it.
Sure, let me just jump up with my headphones on.
So
How much charge do I have on this thing? Oh, I got plenty.
you got
Hold on.
plenty?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get this set up too while we're at it. Like I
Set that
said,
over there.
I set this over here.
Set this over here. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be recording live on our podcast there too. Let's see here.
So if you're already on here, was not expecting your
Okay.
learning something new. So new stuff, new.
Okay, for those joining on Spotify, welcome to Eat.tv. We are live on YouTube at the same time. God,
Yep.
my forehead looks huge.
And your 5 head.
It's like a 7 head.
Yeah.
God,
Look like a water
moccasin.
But yeah, this is Yeet TV. Like you said, I'm Russell. This is Raimondo, Doggerino, whatever you want to call him, Goofballo.
Just call me Rome.
Yeah.
Call him Love Muscle. We're good.
And like I said, we talk about wrestling and movies and TV shows, and we have a good time.
And there are generally a lot of interruptions.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's
okay. So we do this out of the house. Okay.
a lot of.
We're in my house for now. We're probably eventually going to move to his place where there's a quiet room.
Set up a nice little studio there.
But for now, we're here.
We're here. So a lot of times there's extra guests in the background, which we do have guests every once in a while.
There will be so many guests next weekend.
Because we are going to be going live
for Mania.
Yep. So number 40. Crazy to think.
It's extra large.
Yeah. So it's
unfortunately for the Spotify audience, they will probably never see this audience here. But if you are on Spotify, look up youtube.tv or youtube.com /yeet.tv.
Words.
I believe that's the link. I don't know.
I think it's 405, isn't it?
I have no clue.
We'll double check and we'll get back with you on that one. It's so I said we started at the first of the year on this thing, and we're just looking to grow it and have fun doing it. And like you said, a lot of times there's intermissions, there's a lot of distractions, but we have fun doing it. We want our people to listen and watch and all that to have fun.
I mean, there are times where I have to step away because I do have a newborn daughter. She's almost 4 months old.
Yeah.
Very little one. Yes. You will hear her. I promise you at one point in time in our podcast, you will hear her.
She'll be very vocal.
Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement.
Yeah.
If his son is here, Conman, no, that's not his real name. He looks like my older brother. He's big.
He's 6'2", he's 16.
Yeah.
And
he's 16 already.
He's 16.
Oh my God.
And he's weighing in at 280 pounds. He's a big boy. And his goal is he eventually wants to compete for World's Strongest Man competition. And
he's built like a shit brick house.
Yeah. So he and I get up at 4:00, 5 days a week to go work out.
I'm so sorry.
So
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. So
I'm enjoying watching the waves on the phone. Just
it's so relaxing. As long as we don't
ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR. As long as it doesn't put us to sleep, then I think we'll be
good. The only thing that really puts me to sleep is the movie 2012 or Twister. Outside of those, I'm pretty good.
I mean, certain other movies will put me to sleep just because I like them and I've watched them enough that it distracts my brain so I can't sleep. Yep.
My daughter.
So, like I said, we're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about two. after we get done talking about what's been going on this last week, as we do this every Thursday.
Yes.
From SmackDown.
Except for Mania. We'll skip next Thursday. And then we'll just shoot right into Saturday.
Yeah, because we'll be doing Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll have 2 episodes.
There'll be a lot of people here, most likely.
And
a lot of food. So you might catch us streaming while commentating, while eating.
And then other people jumping in.
Yeah. Like there may be bathroom breaks where we hand the headset off to somebody else and say, go for it, and take about a 20-minute break from it.
And I don't know. I mean, with the card for stand and deliver.
Yeah.
Is looking pretty interesting also.
Yeah. What day is that? Saturday afternoon?
That's Saturday afternoon.
I mean, we can start early.
So we'll have to play it by ear. I got to see what all,
Yeah.
Got to find out exactly what time it is that it starts. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Probably noon.
Yeah, I would think so, but so we'll figure it out. So if we can.
We might have a triple header.
Yeah. So I'm just it'll be a half day for the first one. So
yeah.
Because it'll be all top of the day. So, but like I said, we normally start breaking down from SmackDown because it's always the first show right after Thursday. Weird how that works. Which SmackDown used to start on Thursdays, didn't it? That's why. I'll take a headset gladly.
Actually, if you want to, I have to use the restroom. I'll let you come over and take the headset right now.
He needs to go pay.
Come on. I'm going to introduce y'all to my wife on the Spotify app if you're listening, which probably not right now because we haven't shared it to any damn body.
When you're listening to this later on.
Yeah, when you're listening later on. That's my wife. That's Courtney. We got to come up with a broadcast name for her.
Cool C? No.
CZ.
CZ?
Yeah. You good with that? No.
Sounds too much like sleazy.
Okay.
4'8" demon.
What does she say?
4'8" demon.
4'8".
Just in case you're wondering, she is really 4'8". You'll see very shortly. Hopefully.
Very short.
No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. No, not at all.
There you go.
That way she can suck on his nipples. So
I mean, that would be awkward, but
That's a little too much.
TMI.
Is there gonna be milk coming out of them?
I don't know what y'all do, so that might be a possibility.
Oh, we definitely don't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then.
I mean, we're not gonna go into what we do, but
Yeah, but that's
neither here nor there.
not the show for that. No.
He's like, no.
And then somebody's phone's ringing.
That would be mine.
That would be you. See, like we
That is
said.
that is my son calling me.
Uh-oh. So I guess you need to take that.
I do.
So it's going to leave me by myself for a little bit, but that's okay. I got this. Don't worry about it. You take care of that. Well,
Okay,
all
I'll be right back.
Okay. I said this happens. We do it live. We do it on the fly. We have a great time doing it. Just getting together with everybody. We're living life. I'm not going to change it and make it sound like something that's not. We have families. We have kids. We have lives. And let's have fun with it, right? I mean, this is about as real can be. Things happen. Like I said, we got a baby going on in the background. So, but I mean, continue on with what we were talking about. That we're all hyped for Mania. All the things that seems like it's been going on. That I think I might have. What? She being fussy. But we enjoy what's going on with Mania. We're really hyped to see, how it fully breaks down, how everything finally works out. Is it going to bookend, or is it going to continue? I mean, because Mania is kind of like the season finale in a sense, and so, what are they going to stop to start a new storyline? So. You know what? Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna grab this baby. What? Why are you being fussy butt? Huh? Why are you being fussy butt? Where's your pack? Here we go.
And yes,
There we are.
purposely put this shirt on.
There we are.
You're gonna love the shirt.
Which shirt?
Just turn to your shoulder and look. Over here.
Over. Oh, goodness.
What's the matter with you?
Get your tribal. So, I said we're going to start off with talking about SmackDown. One thing that has been going on I've kept track of it for a while. And it's gotten kind of irritating to me in a sense. Is the shows will start off with 20 minutes of talking. Like I said, I know they're trying to get storylines, make sure everything's cohesive and get everybody ready. But everybody's ready. Everybody wants to see some action. Yes, it's great to hear him talk and all that other stuff, but when you go an hour in a show and all you got is one match in an hour because of all the talking, it's a little annoying. Boy, it's firing off these headphones. What? So, all right, hold on. I'm gonna grab the baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
So, with all that being said about, what is it, the last few months, the first 20 minutes has been nothing but talk.
Yeah.
One match, finally, after about 30 minutes of the show being on. What? And then you finally get a match. Generally, it's a good match.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get to another 10 to 15
I'll be
minutes
back
of
in
talking.
a second.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I was really pleased with SmackDown this last week because it started off with a match.
Yes.
And it started off with a halfway decent match.
Yeah, it did.
Ray versus Santos. And and I know Ray just came back from a knee surgery. When he showed back up with the crutches, it looked like he was still kind of very protective of the knee.
Yeah. And
you could tell during the match because he went to jump on the rope, his knee kind of buckled, and it still was kind of messing with him. So,
right.
I mean, I know it's Ray, he still wants to perform, but he is getting, kind of up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
he's what, 47, 48?
I don't remember exactly how old he is. So, I mean,
He's our age.
Yeah, I know he's about our age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been through it, he's still good, but I mean, it's going to take him a little longer to heal. So I'm not sure why he was rushing coming back.
Yeah.
I
kind of thought a little bit of that too. I was like, don't do it. It's
yeah. I said, and then he kind of had that mishap and was hobbling a little bit, and he still finished strong. And, Santos is a great wrestler, a professional beyond belief. So, he was able to help out Ray, and they still, did a great match.
Mm-hmm.
I really was surprised at the end of that match.
I'm not a fan of where they're going with Santos, but in a professional level, that was cool.
Yeah. But I know with Santos, when he was with NXT, it's a continuation of that.
Right.
So, and I think he really prefers the heel. Some wrestlers really do just prefer to be a heel.
Are you
Yeah.
raising your hand to talk?
What's your thought on it? Huh?
Here. Tell us your thoughts.
And then burps and I'm like, "Brr."
Or a fart. That would be epic. You're like, yeah, there's my kid.
But with Dominic showing up to distract Ray.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have we been talking about possibly? I mean, why would they bring Dominic in all of a sudden?
Right. Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
Just like the Brock Lesnar picture on the trailer, the Stone Cold trailer, the John Cena from Old School trailer.
Right.
That was an Attitude Era trailer.
I know. And there's been a lot of talk about Attitude Era, them redoing it.
I mean, with the ending of Raw, if they're not going back to it, they took it too far.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Oh, we will.
Because they are trying to keep PG. They've definitely emphasized that. They did that Monday night too.
Right.
So
there it
There
is.
it is. So, I mean, like I said, we'll see how that works out. With the trailers, we do know that Triple H likes to drop Easter eggs, but I'm not 100% thoroughly convinced because I remember last time that they were here, Ric Flair was with AEW, but there was a trailer with Ric Flair's face on it.
Yeah.
So,
He may have been backstage.
I mean, but it was still, he was with AEW, but they still had a trailer with his face on it for WWE.
What? You want to talk?
So,
You want to talk?
I mean, it's possible. Like I said, and Triple H has been saying this is going to be the biggest.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure they're going to show up,
Oh, yeah. Brock has to.
So, especially with all this gone down and now that he's been, he's on rated and cleared.
Yeah. He's got to get his name back in there.
Right.
Because he owes one for Roman.
Yeah. So.
And him and Cody are good, apparently.
So. But
what are you doing?
Then after
There's
that.
another burp. Okay.
Man, somebody got gas. After that, we had Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the OC.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
I know, and it's sad. I told my wife when the match started, I was like, Grayson Waller and Theory are going to win.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, how do you know? I was like, well, because the OC is also in the title hunt on NXT.
Yep. I don't think they'd have him in two title matches.
Yeah, and I can see them using the OC to push Braun and Baron more than I could for, the regular title.
Yep.
So, like I said, I called it. She's like, how did you know that? I was like, just
pay attention.
Yeah, just pay attention, watch. I mean, you can see where direction they're going to kind of go with a lot of this stuff. So, certain, it's just how it is. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had Naomi and Io.
Yeah.
Once again, kind of went as expected.
Yeah.
And I would, like I said, we talked about this. Not sure if it's just, it's what was expected. They're they're doing a show, but everybody's ready for WrestleMania to start.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
it reminds me of the year that they did the Cena Rock thing for the whole year. I was just like, dude, just shut the fuck up already. Just get us to Mania.
Get on with it, okay?
Let some weeks go without some Cody Rock drama, some Roman Rock Cody drama. Let other people have some spotlight for a few minutes during the episode and showcase other parts of it. There's 7 other matches?
Yeah.
And they don't really talk about it.
Yeah, it's kind of, like I said, they have matches for the matches.
Yeah.
But
it's building towards this one major match.
They're hyping up, each night these 1 or 2 matches.
Yeah.
That are,
But you got Rhea Ripley's match. You've got the tag team match. You've got Intercontinental title match. You've got the United States title match.
You got both women's matches. So.
Right.
And they are, but the way they're doing it still very, like I said, it's
very subtle.
So, I mean,
I mean, unless they're going to plant the big bombs in those little matches and they're just making us focus on one match.
It could be.
Like that,
Yeah.
the Triple H is sneaky.
Right. I do still think that because everybody knows, if you've been watching from the previous week, Asuka's knee was not right.
Uh-oh. What's the
And
matter?
it seemed like when they showed up during that match,
Yeah.
that she was still very guarded. She was trying to be lively, like there was nothing wrong with her knee.
Yep.
But she still didn't do a whole lot.
She can't play it up as well as she thinks she can.
They just need, if there's something going on, they need to come clean,
Mhm.
because I would hate for it to, deter a really good possible match.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's, like I said, she's a professional. She's really good.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm going to run her back to her mom.
Yeah, okay. And then also during that match, Kairi Sane got her mouth busted.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that slam was horrid. I mean, so they said the Kabuki Warriors are getting beat up right now, and it's one of those, like we've talked about, it's wrestling. Things happen. But they need to make sure that, like I said, it goes back to, we're ready for Mania. Everybody's ready for Mania. It's one of those catch-22s that we want some good matches. Of course, we need to make sure that people don't get hurt so they can't make it to matches. So it's kind of, and I understand it's kind of a tricky slope. So, but that was followed up with a great little vignette.
A vignette?
Yeah, with KO and the James Bond villain. And I don't know what he did with his arm, but if you saw his arm, James' arm was bandaged up, and you could tell he had like a brace on. So, not sure what's up with that, but since he's not a currently wrestling superstar, then it doesn't really matter.
No.
But that was great. They were talking about how last time he was in that, he punched two people in the face at the same time, Theory and Waller.
Yes.
And then Pretty Deadly showed up, which they cracked me up.
Yeah.
They play off of
each other,
right? And they've been doing it for a while.
I feel like I'm watching Birdcage every time I see them.
Right, and that's the
hope of it.
That's the whole kid.
But I laugh every time I see them. Let me tell you why. I am a monster Lord of the Rings fan. Okay? Monster Lord of the Rings fan. Please tell me why he looks like Legolas.
Yeah.
Every time I see him in that little short shirt and the long straight blonde hair, I'm wondering when he's going to pull an arrow from behind him and shoot somebody.
Orlando Bloom vibes.
Yeah.
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 The long flowing hair.
I mean,
as blonde as that
now.
hair is, holy cow.
Yes. It's like, man, you could literally blind somebody.
And not only with their gimmick, but they are really great comedic wrestlers. Their sells are just great.
The one that sells things the best, and sometimes I believe he oversells them. Austin Theory.
Oh yes.
When he gets stunned,
he hops up. It reminds me of what The Rock, almost like what The Rock used to do.
And I honestly, I think that's his purpose, is to go overboard like Shawn Michaels did.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels was probably one of the best sellers in the business.
Once again, harken back to the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think the only time I ever saw Shawn not sell something and be real about it was in Ric Flair's match. Right before he super kicked him, he said, I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah.
And normally they don't show that shit on TV.
No.
And that is an iconic moment that
and everybody felt that.
Rarely ever caught on TV.
Yeah.
And when Shawn found out about it, he was a little disturbed. He said they weren't supposed to show that. Right. They were supposed to be showing Rick at the time. And they put the wrong camera
on
because it showed Rick, saying, come on, fight me.
Hey, babe.
And And then it went to that.
But then,
Can I steal you for a second?
they were talking about
Yes.
tag teams, and then Randy showed up. I love Randy's response because one of the guys had on a leather jacket, and Randy is like, I love that jacket. It reminds me of one that my dad used to wear, which was great. And of course, Pretty Deadly's scared to death because KO said that, asked Randy to be his partner. And of course, Randy wholeheartedly agreed. And, Pretty Deadly's, of course, freaking out. Randy and KO leave. They're still talking, and then KO punches both of them in the face. So, and how he's talking about twice. He's done that twice in the same arena. And so, like I said, great little moments, little vignette there that was just hilarious. And like I said, you need those things in the shows. After that, we had the street. If I could talk, holy cow, my mouth is not going to work. Yeah. The Street Profits versus AOP. I'm not so sure about the Street Profits outfit that they had on. It was very flamboyant. I mean, especially, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was just almost like a Pretty Deadly type outfits, in my opinion. But once again, I was not surprised to see the Street Profits win. AOP and the Final Testament, they're still building them, and the Profits have been around for a while. I could tell and just foresee that they're going to put the Profits over AOP as of right now until after Mania, and then they can continue this feud and whatever they're going to do with it. I mean, I'm down for it. I've been a fan of Karrion Kross for a while. I have liked AOP, and I like the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. So it's one of those. I could see it being a very iconic clash if they're allowed to do it properly. We'll see. Sometimes things just don't work as planned. They tried the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. While at the time it was very comical and entertaining, it also still felt very flat. So
We're swapping roles for a second.
swapping roles. Uh-huh. So
I need Zeus and Zeus.
Is this?
Zeus, yeah.
This.
Is he talking his French now?
I guess so.
Okay.
Hey,
French.
I have tea in this.
So I was talking about the Street Profits versus AOP this last week. And do you remember the match?
Street Profits.
Their outfits that they had on were very flamboyant.
They roll with Bobby Lashley.
I'm trying to remember which outfit they had on.
Montez had
If I'm
like
not mistaken,
purple and silver, if I remember right. And Montez had like, if I remember, it had a big old hood on it. It looked really weird. So
I don't know. All I know is I was not happy with the ending of what's that?
Raw.
Yeah, Raw.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that one. I know you were very upset because
Oh, I was mad.
your boyfriend got pwned.
No, it. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I got a few choice of words on that.
So after that, so at this point, with all that's been going on, it's been an hour and a half, and literally the last 30 minutes of the show had to deal with Roman and Cody. So yeah, the last 30 minutes of the show literally was Roman and Cody talking back and forth. And I checked it out. It was literally the last 30 minutes.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, like, I just want to see Cody knock Roman out because I cannot stand him and his big ego that's like skyrocket.
Right.
Like I can't do it.
Right. But
I
that's
can't.
that's the effect they want, because if either you really really like him or you really really hate him,
And I really, really hate him.
and that's why he's doing really really good. Because-
I really, really hate him.
Because most people are one way or the other. So and he's playing on that arrogance. He knows that he's doing it. But like I said, we had the beginning of the show. It was 20 minutes of talking. The last 30 minutes of the show was talking. Them taking jabs. And it was a pretty good battle of the mouths back and forth.
I was gonna say I could have sworn I saw them fighting. Like
No, they didn't actually fight because it's one of those. Cody went to shake Roman's hand. Roman acted like he was going to, but he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to shake your hand."
you're talking about in the ring. Okay.
Yes, in the ring.
I was talking about because the Jey Uso fight with the other guy that I can't
Shinsuke, which was
stand.
Monday Night Raw.
I can't stand him either.
Yeah, we'll get to that one
I
also.
swear.
We'll get to that one also.
I can't. I cannot stand him. There's a bunch of WWE people that I just like. I'm like, how did you make it here?
And they've got skills, and it just goes. Their character, having the right character is so pivotal. And I don't know if it's management that's keeping them tied to these characters, or if they like these characters so much and they just want to stick with it. I don't know.
Well, I've had this thing. She's so fussy. I've watched bits and pieces of it. My dad has always watched Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. What? Yes. Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, stuff like that. Like my whole life, like growing up. Now, like I said, I've watched bits and pieces of it, and then when him and I got together, that's when I was like, okay, well let's give this a try. Let's watch this, and then I just instantly became into it. And so like I'm still kind of learning on who everybody is. Like I knew who John Cena was, I knew who The Rock was, The Undertaker. I remember him. That was my dad's favorite. Shawn Michaels, all that stuff.
The heavy hitters.
Yeah. So, Shawn Michaels was my mom's like, oh my God, kind of like my Cody Rhodes.
The Heartbreak Kid. Yeah.
And then Triple H, I know who he was. And then I just stopped watching it. So,
right.
I watch it, but like now I'm just like, okay, what's going to happen?
Right.
All right. Now I'm trying to follow the storyline. But it's like hard for me to understand because I've not watched it like from the beginning. So,
but sometimes you don't have to know the full storyline, because it's not necessary at times. But it's good to, if it's intriguing you, then of course with modern technology you can go back and check out these past matches and find videos and stuff like that.
I did do that the other day. You would be so proud of me.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I watched Triple H rip a nose ring out of Batista. Yes. I know, so funny. But I was actually watching, I don't know why, but I just got like a really big kick into like, I'm gonna like get on my phone and Google it over or whatever that thing is. Like Apple Play it to the TV and watch it on YouTube, just watch wrestling and stuff.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. You can ask Ron. It was quite entertaining.
I watched the full episode of Impulsive.
Of what?
Impulsive.
Impulsive? I'm sorry.
It was the one with Rhea Ripley. It wasn't
Oh, yeah. No, because she got called out.
Really?
Logan Paul called her out for talking crap on Prime.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It was quite interesting.
It was funny.
I think she could knock him out, but
Oh, no, she can. She actually admitted it. So she and she and her spouse actually they like
no, Buddy Murphy. Yeah. Buddy Matthews, yeah.
He's in the House of Black.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so what they do is she actually starts the fight.
Uh-huh.
But then she also finishes it.
Okay.
So, but they do it on purpose.
Right.
And so she could take Logan Paul in a heartbeat because
Yeah.
he's a little, in my eyes, Logan Paul's a coward.
Yeah.
I
is.
hands down.
Like I said, he is. He's a yeah, and that's not a character. He is a spoiled rich kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he if you've seen his parents' house, he did, before he even became famous, he was not struggling. They were not struggling. They had, he grew up in a really nice house in a nice neighborhood with a nice family.
Yeah.
He's just an attention hoe.
Well, see, and his brothers know better. In my
His
eyes.
brother's worse, and his brother needs to get knocked out. Tyson needs to punch his teeth out.
I would honestly pay to see that fight.
Yeah, I want most people complain when Mike Tyson had 90-second fights. I would love for Mike just to come in like he did back in the day
You have a 30-second fight.
and just rock him once, and because he's gonna allow him to have headgear.
Rock his world.
I mean, just one good punch and just take him out. I and shut him up.
Yep.
Because he is an idiot. But
Can you pull up the Street Profits and show me what outfit that they wore?
The ones with Bobby Lashley.
no, but for the
hand me the towel.
SmackDown, what they were wearing, because it was
It's so hard to
Montez-
keep track. Like
Montez Ford's outfit. It was pretty. I was like, what is this?
yeah,
So it's like I said, I know they're trying to change their characters up, but with the whole Bobby Lashley, but this one was pretty.
you know what really shocked me?
What?
Okay, so we have been watching. What is it called, dear? That thing that we've been watching about real life. Did you know? And I was just dumbfounded by this. I'm sorry. I was so dumbfounded. Roman Reigns in real life. Who is it that he has a beef with in real life? Was it Brock? Brock Lesnar?
Yes.
I did not know that. In real life, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns
Oh, so
actually
they-
have real beef.
They have a legit beef.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what he's got me watching, but I'm sitting here at night not wanting to go to bed and being like, I want to see more of this.
Huh. Did they explain what it is?
It was a disrespect.
A disrespect thing?
I was going to say, I don't remember. I was also doing other stuff.
Right. So it's not 100% attention on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, see if I can figure out where
It's good.
that originated. So
It's literally good. Like that show, The Rivals, whatever.
yeah,
It's
Rivals.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the most recent date of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
It was SmackDown that they were for the Street Profits.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited now. I mean, I'm not a big Brock Lesnar fan because of how he is, how he was with Cody last year. But at the end of the day, things happen,
Right.
and I'm kind of excited to see him come back because once he comes back, like, what if there's like a big change in him because of all the stuff that just went down
Right.
with
Now, how's that going to play into the game?
right?
Because I mean, what's been going on even showed up, kind of in a verbal duel Monday night. So we'll get to that also.
I'm excited.
Yeah, like I said,
I'm so stoked. Like when I tell you, I'll gladly take a
Are we
headset.
talking about this?
no, but it was purple. Like you said, it was like a vest, but it had a big old fluffy hood on it. It was very weird looking. So you probably have to just pull up the last episode on a streaming service or something.
I'm excited though
But-
because
but-
all this is just coming out to play,
Right? Yeah, like I said, it's
and the more I watch,
It's-
the more I learn.
it's a it's a storyline. They have the concept, and they know several months in advance where they're trying to get to, and to watch it unfold.
Yeah.
And that's I guess I can say it like this, thinking about it in that aspect. I was talking about earlier, because sometimes it's just kind of blah. They're kind of like a filler episode.
Uh-huh.
Some of the segments in the show feel like a filler segment. Just there, just to continue it on. But that's what I would really love to see. Some these wrestlers really, it's their opportunity to show up and show out. And sometimes there's some great matches, and sometimes there's just kind of.
Have you? And this is a little off topic, but kind of on. on topic at the same time. Have you ever seen the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so the guy that
Freddie Prinze
played,
Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie
Yes,
Prinze
it's
Jr.
been a writer. Yeah,
I just learned that.
yeah.
I was
He
like,
called me and he
oh
was
my
like,
God.
"I just found out." I was like, "Oh yeah, I've known that for quite a while." Yeah, he's been a
it
huge.
blew my mind.
He's been a huge WWE fan. He was one of the writers for quite a while. He's actually started his own wrestling company now.
Oh really?
Yes. So, like I said,
I'll
he's
have to look into it.
he's big time into it. So,
I'll have to look into it. That's exciting. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really.
Where are they at? They don't let me fast forward.
They won't.
I'll sit through it.
oh really?
Here, I got
I
this.
won't. I don't know. I mean, it's really not that important. Now, I will say this: SmackDown, when the show was going on, I had to stop, and then I was trying to play catch up. As I'm playing catch up, I get a call from this guy over here saying, "Did you just hear that?" And I was like, "I haven't heard anything. I am about 30 minutes behind."
Yeah, I
right
think
now.
he needs to wait to call you. Like, I think
It's
you should call him.
So, like I said, because
he does that a lot.
my-
He gets really excited.
and that's what they want. They want certain things. And like I said, my son works at night, so sometimes I have to pause the show so I can go get him. And because even though he is 16, he doesn't have his license yet. He actually gets to get that next month. So I have to pause it, go get it, and then get him, and then try to play catch up. So
You play catch up?
yeah,
Is it red?
yeah. Just watch out for the mayo, okay?
But the mayo mixed with the ketchup is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
So it doesn't show the entrance outfit,
It doesn't.
No.
Okay.
but
Okay, so the purple and white and gold.
Yeah,
I mean, those are.
it's a little.
It reminds me of the I'm shiny. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
And that's just the gold part. I mean, it's a really pretty. Those are pretty colors mixed together. I do
Right.
have to admit, those are really pretty colors
Yeah.
mixed together. But
But if you got a group of guys that are supposed to be ultra macho, and the outfit they put together, I mean, I was thinking Pretty Deadly, especially because they had just got done with a segment with Pretty Deadly. I was like, okay, that's really weird, but whatever.
I mean, I can see Seth Rollins
Exactly.
wearing something like that.
But Seth
he-
has kind of worked away from that recently too.
did you see the post today on
I
Facebook?
know.
You know how Seth wears legend outfits, right?
Right.
There was one saying, "Seth, please come out and rock his debut outfit with the tassels."
So actually,
That would be the.
That would be great.
when we get on topic of the Cody and the Rock
Uh-huh.
thing at the end, there's something that I want to bring up though,
Okay.
because my sister had showed me a live feed, not a live feed, but a comment feed,
Uh-huh.
and all of Cody's family was commenting in it, even his own brother, talking about you better watch your back. Like, I mean,
So I don't know if AEW will allow it, but I would love to see Dustin.
Well, I mean, you did see his little video promo, right?
Saw that,
That's
but
the
he was
Rock.
also that little segment where what he said to The Rock was also him pushing, because it's his wrestling company,
Yeah.
that he's got tag team titles, and of course his two sons are in that organization also.
Yeah.
Competing for those titles.
I'm trying to sit on where right there. I
Yeah,
don't
but
care.
now it puts a bright light right.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Almost
Here,
angelic,
I'll move.
but
Here, I
well,
got
but
this. I got
not
this.
quite angelic as it is.
But oh my goodness, there we go. My big head always.
Hey.
What? Okay, yeah.
So
But no, seriously though. But the comments, they were great.
Right.
Pull it up and show us.
Dusty, I can't.
Why not?
She didn't send it to me like I asked her to.
Look it up.
I don't know
Here,
what
see,
she
here, it's on
downloaded
I'm sure we
on.
can find it,
I was gonna
but,
say she
like I
didn't
said,
know.
I mean, but we know that
Just Google Cody Rhodes family commenting on video.
So
Let me do some research.
Yes,
So-
private investigator.
now, let's talk about that last little part. Because the
The
you
Rock?
called me. No, we're still on SmackDown.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like I said, he called me all excited. And I was like,
Sure
okay,
did.
hold on. I was like, I'm not quite there yet. He's like, okay, listen whenever the guy with the glasses shows up. I was like,
did.
okay, I will watch that. So, like I said, the last 30 minutes I'm listening to this back and forth. Of course, then Roman gets down, snaps his fingers.
You know, it was funny. He snapped his fingers, and it was like 20 seconds later that they showed up.
Yeah, there's like, what did he do that for? Oh, there they are, you know.
Cody just smiles, and poop, there they are.
Yeah. So of course Solo and Jimmy show up, and I missed it the first time. I rewound it because something happened when because they came in from the backside of the ring.
Yep.
And when Solo reached that front ring, because just I'm using that as a marker, the front pole, there was some music hit, but I missed it that time.
Yeah.
But he heard it, and I was like, so I was kind of, I don't want to take everybody's word. Maybe they might be reading something into it.
Yeah.
And so, of course, then Cody doesn't look scared; he's smiling. And then they show
That
Jay.
was loud.
Yeah, that's been doing that several times now.
Wow. That just means the dryer's done.
Yeah. So then they show Jay and Seth. I was like, okay, I knew he was when he said guys with the glasses. I knew he was talking about.
Yeah.
And I heard it. I don't know if anybody else heard it, but I've told other people about it that they slipped in a 3-beat Shield
Uh-huh.
song.
Darn it.
It was, there was no denying it. It was quick and it fit in with the beat of the song.
It was
But
perfectly edited.
It was there.
Oh, yeah.
It was distinct and it was there. And I literally set up and I was like, holy cow, that was right there.
Yep.
There
And
was-
it happened twice, actually.
It did. And what's funny is because, like I said, we'll use this as the ring. Okay, Roman's here, Cody's here. It said Jimmy came in from this side, Solo came from this side. So Seth was here, Jay was here, right? When Solo hit this ring post, that popped up the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Hold it! It was right there." I backed it up. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, no, that was there.
It wasn't a glitch.
It wasn't a glitch."
Ooh.
And then
I need my older brother. I know you're probably tired of hearing it, but damn, wish you were part of this story. Rock has his whole bloodline. Cody has Seth. I'm here for it more than you know. Winky face.
Oh, boy.
is Tony Khan gonna let it happen?
Oh, boy. Are Triple H and Tony in cahoots now? Because Vince wouldn't let him come back.
Right.
Triple H might be like, you know what?
No,
F it.
I don't know. 'Cause this
That's a
one says
verified
36
account.
years. Yeah, this is his actual account. Okay, so I see a little bit. Sorry, I don't mean to do this.
No, you're good.
So-
This is all about wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had pulled it up, and it says Rhodes family calls out The Rock after attacking Cody Rhodes on 325 WWE Raw. So his wife commented. His brother said, "You son of a bitch." His wife said he better keep his security detail tight at Mania. That's all. So if I keep scrolling, somebody said, "Wake me up when it's over."
Wake me up when it's over.
It's all on. It's literally
Yeah.
all on. I don't know whose account it's on or what. I just love them together. They're so cute.
Right.
But I'll keep looking.
Okay.
But I just
Keep
I
researching
could
it.
not hold that one in. I
Yeah.
was like, wait a second. Like, does that
Yeah.
mean he's
So-
coming back?
I mean, I'd be down for it. I've always liked Dustin.
Dustin's a big guy.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't no, like, Cody is not small. He's 6'1", 6'2".
Right.
But Dustin's bigger than him by
Yeah.
a long shot.
Yeah. I mean, and I would love for Dustin to come back because he's going to retire soon. I mean, he's at
Oh, yeah.
he's at that time frame, and for him to come back and kind of retribution for the whole Gold Dust. Yes, everybody liked Gold Dust.
Yeah.
But that was still kind of a slap in the face of not just him, but also Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole concept of Gold Dust. For him to come back, especially help his brother, for retribution and a good arc for him to finish off his career.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Oh,
I would love to see that. That would be great.
I think Cody's gonna have to come back with something psychotic.
I can see a Homelander type esque.
Or a Shield.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, because we heard the song twice, just 3 beats, edited perfectly in.
Yep.
I mean, there was no way to say, oh, that was
I
an
could
accident.
probably look it up.
Probably could, but
Let me see.
Oh, she commented that one. Oh.
so like I said, yeah, there was no. I don't know if anybody else has caught that. I mean, I would think somebody would. So actually, I haven't even looked it up or researched it to see if anybody else has caught that. So
Let's see.
like I said, I know exactly the spots. I backed it up so many times.
Somebody said Brandy is coming out of retirement to fight the Rock herself. Shush, nobody's talking to you, Dryer.
All right, here we go.
It was always
Here we go.
possibility. It was a trap all along.
Okay, so they're showing Jimmy at one end,
Words have been spoken, now blood
Solo
must
at
be
the other
shed.
corner.
Solo Sikoa,
They haven't
Jimmy
entered yet.
Uso,
They've gone over the barrier. Yet.
surrounding ringside. And let's be honest, the American Nightmare is dead to rights.
So you can hear Roman's music going on in the background. Now they're jumping over the barrier.
Enforcer. The soulless eyes of Solo Sikoa and that gleeful grin of Jimmy Uso about to do what they have done.
Hey, get ready, it's
for
about to happen.
years here in WWE. The Sharks have begun to circle.
Right there. And it perfectly right in. Because it went right back to Roman's music.
To Cody's credit, he is still standing his ground mid-ring
So, I mean,
before the bloodline.
like I said, Cody's not showing that he's concerned.
Cody's not a runner. That might be his biggest fault. Just over 2 weeks ahead
Came
of
back.
the biggest
Oh,
weekend
there's
of his
Joe.
life. Of WrestleMania.
Okay, then they're going to show Seth.
That's main event Jay. That's Seth freaking Rollins.
Right there. It is
Twice.
like- yeah, no denying.
It seems like
So,
Cody Rhodes may have gotten the jump on
And where'd they come from?
for once.
they came from the crowd,
Cody Rhodes was
like the Shield used to do.
yesterday.
So, are they legit going to do a Shield 2.0?
Wouldn't it be a 3.0 by now?
But since it's not the originals,
His sister.
every time was,
His sister made a post too. It says the Rhodes are the blood and bones of American pro wrestling. Rock just made his worst mistake. I don't know
Yeah.
what that's supposed to mean,
So
but-
I saw something on the internet. Well, I sent you the picture. The 4 reasons why Jey Uso will turn on Cody Rhodes. One of them is that hoodie.
Yeah, family above all, and Jay has said that too.
Right. Now, we can look at it because I sent it to you. It says, here's the 4 reasons why they think Jey will
Jey
turn
will turn.
on Cody. It's the Roman Reigns stare down that he had. I think it was backstage, maybe. I don't know. No, that was not backstage.
No.
But actually, it probably was. And then you have the stare down between Jimmy and Jay, where Jay says, "I miss you." The hoodie, family above all. His recent interviews are they're less about getting back at the bloodline and just him wanting to move forward, break away from everything on his own. And he doesn't seem to really want revenge like Cody does. Those 4 reasons are why Jay will betray Cody. Do I believe it? No.
Mm.
Is it possible? Yes.
I mean, and it would, storyline wise, I could see where that would make a lot of sense. And we've talked about. I mean, I honestly still think The Rock will turn on Roman.
Yeah.
And that would still keep the family above all. And that would set up what to me looks like what they're trying to do is have members of the bloodline in each show.
Yep. Each show has its own chief.
And yeah, each show has its own chief with the high chief taking care of everything, which is Samoan culture.
Yep.
To the T. Jay is in charge of Raw.
Yep.
I mean, he's even got the spear.
Yep.
So, like I said, I could see it. I think, and I'd be good with that.
I mean, yeah.
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 I mean, in that aspect, I could see Shield coming back because then he would have Roman on his own. And, like I said, the Shield, they were brothers.
Yep.
That does leave out Dean.
Maybe.
Like I said,
if Tony's working with Triple H, you never know.
So, I mean, if Dustin is going to show up and they are working together,
that's dangerous.
I mean, that would.
What? Okay, here's.
And John, Dean, whatever you want to call him, just shaved his head.
Yeah. Same thing he did.
Yeah.
When he first went to AEW. And right at the very end of his WWE career. Because he started with a little bit of hair, then it grew longer.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
Do you think WWE and TKO are trying to buy out AEW?
It wouldn't be a bad idea. It's a very Vince thing to do.
But it could also be a very Rock thing to do.
Be a very Rock thing to do, too. I mean,
because that would give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nights a week of wrestling.
Almost every single night of the week, you got one show or another.
And even if they don't buy them out, go partner with them.
Right.
Like if TKO became the umbrella for all of it.
Right.
Can we just discuss that punch that Becky Lynch did?
We will. We will.
I mean, at first I looked at it and I was like, oh, that was a work.
She hit
3
it
times.
She made contact.
Yeah. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, that was some good work right there.
Yeah, no, they did the slow-mo and you can tell.
They came back and his jaw just rocked. I was like,
I mean,
and she didn't pull it.
So, I mean, he did sell it more after he got punched, which was fine.
Right. But he really got punched.
Yeah. So, we're doing SmackDown. Let's go ahead and move on to Raw. So, since we're already kind of there, which unfortunately started off with another 20-minute segment of talking. It was intriguing when The Rock showed up.
But he didn't say nothing.
But didn't say anything. I was like,
he whispered something to him.
he whispered something to him.
I still don't know what he said. Well,
it doesn't matter, really.
No.
So that did intrigue me. Because I was like, more talking.
Mm-hmm.
They're superstars. They should be wrestling. So
we get to go to part 2 on Spotify. We only get 60 minutes at a time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're about to on Spotify. So
all right, if you're listening on Spotify, stick around. We're gonna come right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back on that. So
it's fetching my preview.
It's fetching.
Go fetch, motherfucker.
Fetching the preview. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna go one more.
Pardosa. Music plus talk.
Add music to your show.
Cool.
Nice. Your audio library is empty. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, we'll worry about that later.
And we are back for part 2 on Spotify. Still live on YouTube.
Right.
Which is yeet.tv.
Yeet! We forgot to yeet. I just thought about that.
Yeet!
Yeah. Of course, it was a little crazy.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
We didn't get to eat from back there.
Oh, I gotta take the dog out.
We gotta.
I said so, but I was that.
He was so
We got a
quiet,
bubble
I forgot-
bath to eat.
Hey, he was so quiet. I forgot we had a dog.
Oh yeah,
Get your nose out of that.
Wow.
Yeah, which I was kind
forgot
of-
we had a dog too.
I was kind of meh about that segment. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing so good, like I said, but like I said, it could be just because we're ready for Mania to show up finally.
I don't even know. Like, I want to watch SmackDown and Raw just to see if anything pops off about what happened Monday.
Right?
But at the same time, I just don't think I want to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
we will watch it,
I'll
but
fast forward through it.
right?
I'm like, nope, boring. Now they're talking.
Yeah.
No, nope, talking.
Like I say, because
talking.
the talking was meh.
Yeah.
Then we kind of had a mid match. Not it was an expected ending between Ricochet and JD. It looks like they're trying to push Ricochet again because he did a lot of old moves that Ricochet used to do,
Yeah.
but it was still meh. I hate, like I said, I don't know if it's just because, like I said, we're ready for Mania or what. But at this point, that's all. That entire thing, this segment and that match took up 53 minutes,
Yeah.
almost a full hour, and it was just those two things.
Mhm.
There was a bunch of other vignettes and blah blah blah, but that was the two big things
Yep.
in almost an hour.
No. Okay. I don't know if it's night 1 and night 2 or just individually, but I saw a post on X today and it said, "Does this MF say 6 hours?"
Hmm.
And it just says WrestleMania XL 6 hours in the bottom left corner.
Well, I mean, I'm sure both nights together, but one night.
But could it be? We're gonna burn up my internet data.
Oh, that would be okay.
But I mean, if it's 6 total hours, I am good with that.
I mean, if it's going to be 6 hours, they better make sure they keep everybody's attention
Yeah.
because everybody's just going to be. I mean, because you got such big matches that
Because
if
it
it's
does say biggest of all time.
Right.
And it is XL.
but Mania used to be one night. It used to be 6 hours.
Right. And that was the longest 6 hours of my life.
Yeah, because by the end of it, yes, you wanted to see the final match, but you also wanted the final match over because
all the food was gone.
everybody was
All
exhausted.
the drinks were gone. It was
Yeah.
midnight.
Yeah, and of course,
I
it was.
am happy they went to 2 nights.
Yeah, and then it was Sunday night, so you had to get up for work the next morning.
Mhm.
Like I said, that's one thing I did like when they moved to Saturday.
And then Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
I think we went to the second one that was 2 night, right?
Huh?
The first one they did was the one right before Dallas, I think.
No, the first time they started doing 2 nights is when COVID hit.
That's right. So 2020.
Yeah, that's when they first went to 2 nights because they wanted too many people being in the same building at the same, and they couldn't because of regulations.
Right.
So, and which changed the whole landscape, which I was very happy for
Mhm.
because you could have several matches, long matches that were good matches, but everybody wasn't just cooped up in one place for 6 hours.
Right.
Trying
And
to
it
watch
does suck for your pocketbook if you go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's still fun.
Oh God, it's a blast. I do believe Darwin said that the ticket that I sat in was close to $500 for both nights.
I don't
Like
remember.
$230 something a night.
I don't remember. So
All I know,
I bought them, so it's all good.
all I know is I got called the weekend before,
That Monday before.
the Monday before WrestleMania. I just broke up with my ex, and I was just not feeling the world. Like I wanted to just sit and do nothing.
He wasn't feeling very oozy.
No. I was feeling carrying crossy.
Yeah.
I was mad at the world and I was upset. And he called me and he goes, "You got any plans next weekend?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Cool, we're going to Mania." I was like, "Have fun."
I was like, no.
Still didn't catch on.
I was like, no, you're going to Mania.
I was like, "I don't know if I can get time off work." He said, "Well, you better because you have a ticket waiting on you." And I was like, "Oh, damn."
He's like, what about a place to sit? We've already got that handled.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to make excuses, and I took them all away.
Yeah, he told me, "You're going. You don't have
Yeah,
a choice."
yeah. So
yeah. I was like, "Well, the least I can do is drive."
Yeah.
So I drove us to
which worked out
WrestleMania.
well because I still had to go to work Monday morning, and of course, after the show ended, there was still a 3-hour drive.
Yes.
So I slept off and on. I think I scared him because I woke up for 1 minute and said something. And, we thought you were asleep. Well, I was for a minute.
Yeah. It was something else, that's for sure.
So, but so we had a blast. It was craziness that when we first got there, but everything else was great. The all access was great.
I can clearly. Oh man, I can't. You know what? I'm just gonna show the video. I might embarrass myself, but Darwin and I were like kids in a candy store.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even gonna try to lie about it. Like I'm
And
not gonna lie.
just say when we got there, there's meet and greets, and you can do commentating for a match, and
That one was interesting.
yeah, which we didn't get to do that. I want to do that when we get to the next Mania.
Oh yeah.
So definitely have to save up some more money.
Okay, so
All right, so we are Darwin, Russ, and myself. We are at WrestleMania access. Like, holy shit. Go this way. This is.
here's the
Hold
volume.
on. You done? There we go. All right, more video to come later.
So then you have
All
that.
right, so we are Darwin.
And then we had this. They shot a commercial for us with C4.
Right.
It was great.
But that's still not the highlight of the night.
No, the highlight part of my night was this part right here. That's Liv Morgan that I just hugged.
And then Rhea Ripley.
And Rhea Ripley. And that, okay, I'm 5'11", and she towered over me. That was Russ, because that was a bucket list item that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have that. And then we have this one, which completely caught us off guard. The Game showed up.
Yeah, no one was expecting him.
No.
So that was nice. And that was basically kind of him doing his retirement because he placed his boots in the middle of the ring. Which really sucks because he can't.
And for those that don't believe, we were there when Cody Rhodes came back. Here's your receipt. Here we go. Yeah. So we were there. I get chills right now because as soon as that match even started, like I had my T-shirt before the match even started,
Yeah.
and then the roof blew off the fucking building. Blew off the building. Because at this point, we didn't even know if Stone Cold was really even
I
there.
mean, we kind of figured he was there, but that he was actually going to show up
Yeah.
and he showed up both nights.
Yeah, he
so
did. He showed up twice the first night.
and that stunner that Vince took was horrible.
It was morbid.
It was ugly. Oh yeah,
Morbid.
it was sad. So sad.
Incredibly.
He used to do great selling him. But anyways, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. Like I say, because after the 53 minutes of
She just yeeted.
Yeah, she did a little while ago when she went outside. 53 minutes of meh.
Blah.
Then business picked up.
Yes.
For a little while. Because, of course, they were in CM Punk's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Punk comes out. He talks for 4 minutes. Okay. It did seem like forever, but it was only 4 minutes. I checked it out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, of course, hometown, he's getting all the cheap pops. Then Drew comes out. And the whole thing between Drew and Punk, that really got spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
My favorite comeback with Punk was, I don't need another man's name on my shirt to sell a product.
Right?
I
mean, CM Punk, he is very good on the mic.
He's a mouthy SOB. Though.
Yeah. And Drew would fire back. Punk did have some better ones, though.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he, Drew messed up and said, I'm the chosen one. And Punk's like, who called you that?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
What virtue of morality called you that?
Yeah.
And Drew, you can see the painted Drew, and Drew's like, "Thank you, God."
Yeah. Or the this is my show. Because this can be your show, but this is my city.
Right.
I was like, damn. All right.
But I love the banter back and forth.
It's hot in here. Turn some air on.
So, but this heel version of Drew and the way he talks, I really, really, really enjoy it. I really like it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Seth showed up, and I love Punk's reaction. He falls down on his knees, takes the microphone, and beats himself in the head with the microphone when Seth shows up.
Yeah.
So, like I said, and then Seth came in and just, like I said, the whole entire part was, at that moment, of course, because everything else was kind of,
right.
That was really good. And then Seth getting over on Drew was great right there at the end.
But then Drew gave him a receipt.
Yep, at the end of the show. So
and that feels good.
So, and then after that, we hit, again.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Ivy Nile went against Candice LeRae. They're definitely going full heel with Candice and trying to get Indy Hartwell to join in. Indy's not really wanting to have anything to do with it.
Right.
So, like I said, there's a potential feud right there. So, like I said, Ivy Nile, she's been working really hard. She's doing really well. I said they've definitely pulled her away from the Creed brothers.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure where they're going with that, but that's not my job. I'm going to trust them. Like I said, I know Ivy, is picked by The Rock because she won his show.
Yeah.
So we'll see. She's got some. She'll be there.
She got some talent.
Yeah. So and she works hard.
Yes, she does.
And then you had the New Day versus DIY.
How is that even? I don't know.
I was kind of shocked because they, of course, what did they say again? Regeneration X.
Yeah.
But anyways, but I really didn't care what happened during the match.
Right. I was bored with it.
I mean,
At that point, I was just like, okay, bring on the Rock, bring on the Jey Uso match. And it was like the show. I feel like I'm going through a marriage with WWE, because sometimes it's just way up here, and other
Right.
times it's like, can you just get the hell out
well,
of
and
my
like I was
house?
talking with Court that it's kind of like when you're watching Naruto or any of the animes.
Mhm.
You have that one filler episode
It doesn't mean anything.
that doesn't mean anything. They're just trying to get to the next big plot point.
What I think they messed up. And they'll probably fix it next year, but I think they did too much too soon,
Yeah,
and then they left a whole gap of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure next year or any other pay-per-view that it leads up to, that they're going to spread it out
Right.
a little bit.
and it could be because I'm sure they've done a lot of shuffling around with things, so it kind of caused some problems.
We have a dog.
Yep.
Trying to nose in and say hello.
So
Come here,
like I
dude.
said, but then we actually got a fairly good match, Andrade versus Vinci.
Yes.
Andrade, granted who he is married to and what family he's part of now, the
Right.
Flairs, that he showed future champion
Oh yeah.
potential. So I was,
All right, buddy. That's your 5 minutes of fame.
yeah,
Down.
get down.
Go see your mama.
Oh.
Go see your mama.
Careful. All right.
Go see your mama.
Then we had the vignette with Rhea and Becky.
The punch heard around the globe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. See if they got
I-
the slow motion one.
I said, of course, Rhea started off. Becky came out, and I mean, the one part I don't think Rhea was expecting it, because Rhea mentioned Becky's daughter
Mm-hmm.
and about how Becky's daughter is going to be on. She's going to be on the couch with her daughter, and her daughter's going to call Rhea mommy. And Becky came back.
That was loud.
That was like that.
Cox fiber
With that, to keep her daughter's word, because her father passed away and never got to meet the daughter.
Watch me do what I do.
In case you missed it,
I want you to sit next to your daughter, Ruth. And I want you to listen to her call me mommy.
I think Becky almost caused Rhea to break character in this next little. That was a nice little dig. It was great.
mm-hmm.
Listen to me. That is your one pass. If you ever mention my daughter again, they will be the last words you ever say. You say that you didn't attack me out of respect. There is nothing respectful about you.
Yeah, they missed.
The reason you didn't attack me is that when you throw that first punch.
Okay,
there's
they
no
passed what I was
going
talking about, but we'll get to the
back. At a
punch.
WrestleMania, neither one of us are ever going to be the same again.
So she's like, my dad never got to meet my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Becky's tearing up. And they pan over to Rhea, and you could tell Rhea almost started tearing up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of had to catch herself. So she almost caused her to break character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like, ooh, she felt that one deep in her core.
Yeah.
But
Very
then,
deep.
I was surprised Seth didn't come walking out. Because when Dominic turned and got in Becky's face, I was like, oh crap.
I mean, I know this works, and it's working together, and it's an act and scripted. But I almost wonder if that punch was a receipt for something that he said.
I-
Because that was not a scripted
mean,
punch.
yeah.
That was an
I mean,
actual.
it might have been scripted, but she made some good contact.
She made all contact.
Because
Then when she came over the steps and got him again, she lit his ass up again.
yeah,
I was so excited.
yeah, it was great. I was
I was the happiest camper alive. Okay.
Let's watch the punch heard round the world.
I was surprised Seth didn't walk out there right then. She did that. I was like, okay.
Like she just lit him up.
I mean, like I said, it very well could have been planned. And at times that the wrestlers will say, "Go ahead and hit me,"
Mm-hmm.
To sell it and make it look as good as possible.
Now watch right here. When she comes over the steps, okay,
Right.
watch. Got
Yeah.
him again. And then she gets him again outside. Right here. Got him a third time.
I said I was really surprised Seth didn't show up.
Yeah, this is going to be a brawl.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Rhea Becky match.
Oh yeah,
I expect it to be great. It's I now who's going to win it is the I'm still I'm just indecisive.
yeah. I'm on the fence on that one.
So
There you go. See,
yeah. Last week when Rhea did the stink face to Nia,
mm-hmm.
and then her husband's response to it.
Yeah.
He always goes for the win on those every time.
Yes, he does. I will relive that punch every day.
So, listen, at that point we had 2 good series in a row, and then Sammy versus Bronson.
Boring. Sorry, but that one was. I was not impressed.
Like I said, it's one. It goes back again. What are they doing with Sammy? I mean, I guess, I could say, I guess it's good that we can't figure out what they're going to do with Sammy.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 days.
For
The new documentary.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh. Narrated by the Undertaker of all people.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt. Wyndham Rotunda's.
I fully believe, and look,
Yeah.
maybe it's just me, but I wonder how many Easter eggs are in that documentary about WrestleMania. Because Bo Dallas is a part of it.
Yeah. Like I said, that, and
I'm gonna watch that closely.
I'm gonna watch, because I said whatever character they've got planned for him, whether it's the Wormwood or whatever. Yeah, for the outfit that I've seen with that,
It looks like Wormwood.
it looks great. And speaking of, I just happened to, because I was scrolling through from NXT, something that happened, we'll talk about that, of the roster, and I didn't realize Dexter Loomis is still part of the roster.
Mhm.
So I said, and whatever, I still think Dexter would have been a perfect member of the Wyatt Six. He still could be with whatever they've got going on with Bo. So I mean, I'm
Oh
like I said,
boy,
but it'll all happen.
there's a new video.
Do you feel in charge?
4 days ago.
They're Quaker Oats, selected for
Let's watch it.
nutrition,
Let's skip it.
flavor.
So
You won't find these out.
Skip the commercial.
Welcome, dear fireflies, to the carnival of the mind.
Sounds just like him.
For I bring you a warning wrapped in the shroud of dread. Beware the
Is that
voices that
Alexa?
whisper sweet lies into your ears, for they seek to lead you astray down the treacherous path of falsehoods. Dreadmere, they call it. They say, do not be deceived by its allure, for it is a place of darkness and
Whoa.
despair.
that was Joe
Yet you
Gacy.
speak of Dreadmere, yet few truly understand its depths. They prattle on spring tales without substance. It's a realm inside my head. It's a place I created, kind of like how my brother created Firefly Funhouse. It was a place he felt safe. The stories make it real. The feelings, the lore, the passion in being in that moment makes it become bigger than life itself. Alexa, the misguided soul who unwittingly unleashed the power that now roams these halls. She is not a disciple of Dreadmere, and I never said she was. She's a wanderer lost in the labyrinth of her own making. When she returns, she will have her own path. What you witnessed was but a hollow vessel. Alexa will return, yes, but not until the time is right. Not until the moon aligns around the sun, or the summer that
eclipse.
awaits.
Which is the day after
Those who claim to know
Mania.
the truth but speak not but lies.
Monday Night Raw.
They fear what they cannot comprehend, shunning the darkness that dwells within us all. Lie from me, and I shall reveal the secrets that lie hidden in the shadows. For the fireflies, they know more than you give them credit for. They dance in the darkness, illuminating the path to enlightenment. Subscribe to Dreadmere if you dare, and witness the spectacle unfold before your very eyes. Mark your calendars, for Bray Wyatt becoming immortal shall be unleashed upon the world on April 1st, streaming on Peacock. I'll be watching.
Wow.
That was great.
Welcome, my friends, to the
Dreadmere.
twisted world of Dreadmere.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to subscribe to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Behold the desolation of Dreadmere, where the lost souls are condemned to a perpetual night of torment. The air is thick with the stench of despair.
She Awaits 2 days
The
ago.
shadows themselves writhe in agony. In this forsaken abyss, the mistress of Dreadmere glides, a spectral warden presiding over the damned. Her presence heralds the arrival of a horror beyond comprehension. The mirror reflects the fractured souls, their twisted nightmares manifesting in the ethereal depths of Dreadmere. There
Alexa.
is no escape, for the very essence of terror resides within these haunted corridors. Lost disciples to the abyss, and now Dreadmere hungers for more. She will continue to guide you through the darkness as you spread her message. And when you open the door, she will make her presence known. The mistress of Dreadmere calls for you, and in the suffocating shadows, your soul shall be devoured. Your screams becoming one with the eternal chorus of the forsaken. Dreadmere's embrace will tighten, and the mistress lingers in the
Alexa
shadows.
Bliss.
That's it. She's got dark hair.
Yeah.
Black.
As the lantern's flickering glow guides your way through the abyss, the shadows and nightmares intertwine your next task. Embrace the impending darkness, for in Dreadmere your deepest fears materialize. And escape will be but a distant memory.
Name a more iconic egg than Cadbury.
Wow. Wow. They were thinking Sean Mears might be, but I don't know. You know, he's on NXT. Yeah.
What is this one?
I think that's probably the introduction to that. It was a month ago. Welcome to Dreadmere. So this is where they're going to start announcing everything. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexa.
Shall we?
Well, we got to get more done. We're running out of time.
Well, F the movie review tonight. We'll check these out.
Well, I want to talk about one of them
That's
because you
fine.
wanted me to talk about it.
That's fine.
You want me to watch it.
Oh, you watched it?
Sammy Bronson. Yeah. Except I'm not sure what they're going. Apparently, he's going to team up with Chad Gable.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll give it. I'll give it a shot. See what happens.
Yeah.
Then Jay versus Shinsuke. I wasn't hyped about the match in the first place because I'm not a Shinsuke fan.
No.
I
never really have been.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. The best
Well, hello.
wrestler of all time.
Hello, Con. I don't know who you are, but what's up?
And he's not trash, but he's not the best. Is he one of the best talkers? Undeniably.
One of them.
One of them. Not the best, but one of the best. Has his skills fallen off recently?
Very much so.
Yes, because he's not there like he used to be.
He's more script.
Yeah.
Which, no fault of his own.
No.
I mean, the master of low blows and comebacks is weak at this point. And I'm referring to the Chain Gang commander, John Cena. I remember in the Ruthless Aggression era, he came up with some of the best raps.
Yeah.
Like just burning people. He had a good one on the road to him and Rock's first WrestleMania. Talking about being a fruity pebble and da-da-da-da-da. And he said, I'm like a big purple pinwheel, so come on, Rock, and blow me.
Right.
And then blew into a pinwheel.
Yeah, he pulled out a purple pinwheel out of his pocket.
And I'm like, there's the Chain Gang. There's the Doctor of Thugonomics. But after that, it was just...
I said, and it kind of negated because Cena talked about how The Rock went Hollywood, and then, of course, Cena went Hollywood.
And you realize he texted The Rock after that.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm sorry, I didn't realize what it took.
Yeah.
I mean, he owned it.
Yeah.
So
but
I'll give him that.
And the Jey Uso Shinsuke, it was a means to an end.
Yeah.
Of course, because we knew everybody started jumping out. And then we get another throwback to the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Which but they're trying to keep it PG because even Drew said that in the exchange between CM Punk and Seth and all that.
Right.
Keep it PG.
Don't look at my kilt.
Yeah. Don't look under my kilt. Don't film under my kilt, you pervert. So,
that was great.
Yeah.
I died.
I love Drew's character right now so much.
Yeah, that ending vignette,
I'm not a Drew fan.
It took me back to probably one of the best times in wrestling I can remember was the Matt Hardy Edge backstage rumble.
Right.
Where he showed up back on SmackDown or Raw, whichever one it was. And Edge didn't know.
Right.
But there was real animosity there. Like there was real hatred from Matt to Adam because of Lita or Amy Dumas. It was real.
That one was real.
That was real.
But back in the Attitude Era, they used to go outside of the ring and outside of the building quite often.
Right.
Even NXT has done that recently too. They've had where the Dawn of NXT took Ilya Dragunov to a bridge
from a restaurant.
Stuff like that. So great throwbacks, and that helps make it more entertaining because it makes it more of a full universe.
Yeah.
Not just stuck within the confines of the building.
Yeah. And they did a good one. I don't know if it ever hit the air outside of being broadcasted on SmackDown, or was it Raw? LA Knight and AJ Styles.
SmackDown. That was another one.
That was good.
And AJ is taking the supplements.
And if you watch that full clip on YouTube, There are some wordy dirds.
Oh yeah, I'm not
Whew.
surprised. Yeah.
Man. And I want to believe it was real. Like I truly do. Because it's really hard to get a police department to agree to film an assault and battery incident with
Yeah, but I just say if you got the pool that it would be no more different than getting police officers for a movie.
right.
So,
But at the same time, I just kind of looked at it like maybe it's real
I mean,
because
there could be some legit beef,
oh, I'm sure there is.
and Vince used to do that all the time. Have legit beef between wrestlers and have them go because it made for better matches.
Right.
So, and whatever reason they've got beef, it is what it is.
Right.
So, but it's working out well for those two.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me talk to you. So, but yeah, and I do think the attack by The Rock and the whole thing outside ran a little too long.
Way too long.
And I don't know if it's because, like you said, because they were trying to hint at those Easter eggs on the trailers or not.
They had to get every angle.
Yeah, then they got tons of angles. So was that the reason it went so long? Because they did what was said didn't get changed a whole lot. It was pretty much the same thing over and over.
I mean, when they first went outside, The Rock said it's been way too long. And I mean, it has been way too long.
Yeah.
Since something like that popped up on the screen, rather than just being backstage talking on the camera and, in the ring. So,
yeah.
I see a shift in the era coming.
Yes.
That much I do see.
Like I said, and we've talked about whether you call it the bloodline era, even though it's a bloodline era per se.
Right.
Like I said, I don't say the official era, the name of it, but Cody is the face of it, kind of like John Cena was the face of that.
Of the Ruthless Aggression era. And then The Rock and Stone Cold were the face of
the Attitude
era.
Yeah.
Like I watched the Stone Cold Legends documentary on A&E or whatever it's on. Wow. Like when he had left for those few months, I found out in that documentary he up and quit and just walked out.
Right.
Because last minute they said Brock's gonna beat you. He was supposed to fight. He was supposed to have a build up that night with The Rock.
Okay.
The Rock was under the weather. He didn't make it.
Right.
So last minute they threw in, oh, you're gonna fight Brock Lesnar and he's gonna go over on you. And he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm out. And he put his stuff back in his bag and he left like 12 minutes before his match.
Wow.
He didn't even know The Rock wasn't there.
Wow.
And he didn't speak to Vince for like 3 months.
Yeah, I knew him.
And JR sent him a card just in the mail. I said, hey, I know you're dealing with some stuff, but if you want to talk, call me.
Right.
So he called him and he said that he had a Motorola flip phone.
Right.
Stone Cold did. And he said he burned through 2 batteries on that phone call.
Wow.
And JR said, yeah, we just talked about football. We talked about farming. We talked about this. We talked about that. And then he said, and then I asked him the question, if I get you and the old man together, can you guys come to some kind of a reconciliation so you can come back to work? And Stone Cold said, I would love to. And he said, I didn't know if we were going to go in there and throw hands with each other or if we were just going to talk like grown adults. He said, but we had a conversation, came back, and he spent that next night. I think it was a Monday Night Raw. But he said that he actually, I'll just let you watch it. I'll find it while you're talking.
Yeah. So we're going to move on next to NXT.
Gross.
What?
She's not an NXT fan.
What?
NXT, AEW is all trash.
I love NXT. I like watching these guys. They're building. They're doing great. NXT started right off with a match. Basically, the budding match of the big guys. Who's going to be the dominant big guy in NXT is kind of what's going on right now. You had Dijak and Sean Spears. What I liked about it is we know that there's an evolving storyline of both characters, but they didn't spend 20 minutes talking about it. You knew it was there. The commentators were kind of discussing it, while the two wrestlers put on a good match.
Yeah.
So, that was that's what she may not like NXT, but NXT is in a lot of aspects far superior in the way they do their production than the others. It's and just to help build these characters and these and help them build something for themselves. Because Sean Spears had to do that. A lot of times, these wrestlers are really good, but they just can't get over because of bad characters in WWE. They got to go out, create something for themselves. Drew McIntyre's, Cody Rhodes, Sean Spears. So, it's great to see that how they're working that, and bringing these people in, helping them build up. And if it's not, there's other avenues. Another little pretty good Roxanne Perez vignette. Thea Hill came back as more closer to the old Thea Hill, and she had a match against Jasmine Nix. It was a good match. It had some great build up for future storylines. And then a great little segment to help build up for Carmelo versus Trick Williams. Like I said, I was kind of back and forth on Stand and Deliver, but I think that's going to be a really good match. So it kind of makes me want to see it more now. Then one female wrestler that's out, Lola Vice. I just don't care for Lola. I mean, it's not. I don't know. She does nothing for me. I could care less. I know she's legitimately, a pretty tough individual, for MMA fighting. But the whole she's shaking her butt on Instagram and that's kind of her shtick, I could care less. Fire with 2 comments from that little section. Fire. It's crazy. Stax Lorenzo and Ilya had a pretty good match, but it looks like during that match that Stax stomped Ilya's hand, causing finger injury or fingers. So that could be, possible future for what's going to happen with Stand and Deliver. I was kind of interested, which this next part is what they're doing with Ridge Holland. And that's why I went to the roster, because apparently in this first Ridge is retiring or taking a break from wrestling.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know it's work, but they're doing a really good job because they actually moved him to the alumni section on the roster. So it's like, I'm pretty sure it's work. So what are they going to do with it? I don't know. I'm intrigued with that, how they're going to work that. I said, once again, Battle of the Big Men, Josh Briggs, Duke Hudson, great setup. What's going on with all that, especially with Dijak and Obafemi, who's the big guy of that group, of that whole department. And then Alpha Academy and Wolf Dogs. Did you see that match?
No, I didn't even watch NXT.
Okay, Court, you may not like NXT. You need to watch the Alpha Academy versus Wolf Dogs.
Of the what?
But Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Okay? It was a great match.
Okay. Just send it
I'm going to tell you this. During the match, because this, I about came out on my chair. Braun grabs Tozawa like he's going to do a suplex, throws him in the air. Tozawa does a flip. Braun catches him into a cutter. Yeah, Yeah, and then they're pushing Braun because they had a huge segment on Braun during Raw. So I said, I mean, they're pushing him hard.
Well, like I said, just send it in a text.
All I got to do is look it up.
Yeah,
All I got to do is look it up.
yeah. If you watch anything, watch that match. It was actually a great match, and that move was just insane.
Another thing I was saying about Stone Cold,
Uh-huh.
off subject, I know, but I just thought of it because I saw that part of the video.
Odin?
He had
Are you serious
mentioned
right now?
that the jean shorts that he wore
Mm-hmm.
were always really tight,
Right.
so he couldn't always get his leg up
No,
high enough
sir.
for his cutter.
Okay.
He said, "I can't tell you. There's at least five decades worth of nut shots that Vince took instead of the stomach because he didn't get his leg
Because
up
they couldn't
high
get his
enough.
leg up because they
So
were too tight.
he said, you guys thought that was the work. Vince really got kicked in the nuts. 90% of the people that were over 6 foot tall
Uh-huh.
took a nut shot on a cutter.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
When they took a stunner, not a cutter.
Yeah, stunner.
Um,
Because he couldn't get his leg up. because
anybody
it's-
over 6 foot tall generally took it to the nuts. Literally.
Because he couldn't get his leg up.
Right. And so they were really hunched, and
Because they were hurting.
that's why a couple of times he said, if you go back and watch a replay of all my stunners, he said, you'll notice that some of them were actually grabbing their little baby testicles after they got stunned instead of acting out that they got stunned. He said, and a lot of the times you'd see, like when Vince would get stunned and just roll and flop, he said it was because he was trying to take away the pain of his nut shot. Like he couldn't sell a stunner with his nuts on fire.
Right.
And I sat and I thought about it. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
So that could be why that last stunner that Vince took didn't get sold real well, because he actually got kicked to the junk.
Yeah. He said he's Stone Cold said, I'm glad I did it before Stephanie and Shane showed up because they'd have never been born.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Vince took a ton of nut shots. I mean, a lot of
right
people
to
did.
the family jewels.
He said Taker took about 10 of them. He called him Paul White. But he said Paul White took like 7 or 8 of them. He said, but I never could grab him by his big old neck. It's like, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Love hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like if you just go back and what channel is that on? Let me see.
The A&E, I think.
It is FYI HD.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you have that channel. But you can go back, you can watch it, and like it's 2 hours.
Right.
Like these episodes are 2 hours.
So they go full detail.
It's full in depth. Like they have
Slaughter.
Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, Diamond Dallas Page, Jake the Snake, Mick Foley, Stone Cold, Macho Man, Sergeant Slaughter, Ultimate Warrior, British Bulldog, Bret Hart. Like they go in depth, and then they have rivals. Okay.
Right. And I've been seeing a lot of the rivals.
Taker versus Shawn Michaels, Cena Edge, Rock Cena, Cena Orton, Rey Mysterio. That tugged at me.
Oh, I'm sure.
When I watched it. Because there was home video footage with Eddie and Ray. Obviously Ray had the mask on.
Right.
And a couple of the shots he didn't because it was from behind. They were talking face to face.
Right.
And it was literally Eddie saying, I don't feel right about this angle with bringing Dominic into it. He said, I don't want the world to think bad of me.
Right.
But at the same time, I have to sell my character for my job.
Right.
And he picked Dominic up in one of those little videos. And he said, no matter what happens on TV, just know that Uncle Eddie loves you.
Right.
And Dominic gave him a big hug. And I was just like, oh.
Wow.
And then it shows a video of Ray during an interview. And he said just 3 months later, he was dead. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I mean, look. Yep.
Yeah. Just don't do the Rock.
The people's bump. No, that's called herpes, you sick fuck. No, really.
So
Don't
anyways.
take any offense. I still wear Under Armour
So,
Project
we
Rock.
got less than 10 minutes for the second part, so
Yeah.
we got to finish it up. So I watched 2 movies this weekend.
Yeah, the Cock Johnson.
Okay. No, one of them was not that. So I mean, so one of the movies I watched,
You're welcome.
quite interesting.
Wonka.
I'm gonna say the premise of the movie is kind of what I always felt the character was like. You had a cartel that was in charge of a city that had a police chief at their beck and call,
Mhm.
and an up and coming drug dealer.
Yeah.
He's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
He was passing off drugs to these people.
Yeah.
Both Connor and I this whole time were like, he's giving them drugs.
Yeah.
Drug laced chocolates.
Mhm.
One guy, I think he gave him steroids. I mean, the whole entire movie, that's why we're like, oh yeah, he just gave him uppers, downers. He's a drug dealer.
They did the Oompa Loompa really well.
I did. I loved Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa.
Yes.
Hey.
I love the fact that they stayed true to the original Oompa Loompa.
Right.
From
I'm the Oompa Loompa.
you're the real life Oompa Loompa. But the fact that they stayed true. True story. True story. Last night I introduced her to Brad Williams.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
And he's on TV. He's like, I'm 4'4", damn it. Don't treat me like that. I don't fit in these things. And I was like, you're only 4 inches tall. She looked at me and she said, shut the fuck up.
Can't help she's
like
vertically
watching-
challenged.
I don't like watching comedians.
Oh, you got to watch his fun size
Yeah,
special.
Brad,
That one's
Fun size, especially when he gets to the
military
part with
Where
the
he talk-
chopper.
He talks about, I had to put on a bulletproof vest and it was a medium, but on me it was a moo-moo.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then he shows a picture of it. There's a picture of it on his
Yeah.
Instagram. He says, me and the moo-moo. And the thing was hanging to his knees.
Yeah.
But the guy next to him was wearing one and it was up here.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. bud.
So, yeah, Wonka, I mean, it was entertaining, but yeah, Wonka was a drug dealer.
It was a good prequel.
He was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat out, yeah. He just had better stuff that wasn't watered down like the other guys.
Oh, yeah.
I did like how the one guy, whenever someone said poor, he was like, "Ugh."
Mm.
And then Keegan.
Yeah.
Just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. There was only one part of that movie that kind of disturbed me, even in the slightest. The young girl in the sweatshop.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you haven't seen this,
we apologize, but
I mean, by now most people should have seen it.
Right. So they become friends, and nothing wrong with that, because in the movie he looks to be about 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
Still a kid himself.
Still.
But they go to the zoo and they have this romantic embrace. And I don't know if they're portraying her as in her late 10s or 13, 14, 15 years old.
Preteen.
But they hold hands like this and they get real close. And I'm just like, I don't know where they're taking this.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to read too much into it.
No, I just, was like,
Like you said, the whole movie fit with the original.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, where the Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory. Even Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, it was wacky.
And it showed the reason why there was a message inside the Wonka bars.
Right.
Because his mother left that message.
Right. So it was a great little addition and just kind of full, complete story.
Yeah.
But he was a drug dealer. I've said that since that night.
He was a drug dealer, and in Johnny Depp's version, he was a drug addict.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow.
It's one of those,
Gene Wilder.
You don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah, Gene Wilder by far played the best Wonka.
The tunnel scene, you at that point was kind of like, okay, yeah, he's not in his right mind. He's on something.
Very much so.
So, like I said, it fit with everything else. I was entertained. Like I said, even though Connor and I were joking the whole entire time that he's a drug dealer.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find that scene on YouTube about why he left.
Hey, did you guys see that they have new titles apparently for WrestleMania 40?
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Oh, interesting.
It's
And
right
then
underneath.
I watched a movie on Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon Prime exclusive. I was intrigued. I wanted to see it. Roadhouse. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
What did you think? Without taking, I love that it gave some homage to the original. It took some of the stuff from the original, but it still made it its own. Conor McGregor was unhinged, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I loved Conor McGregor in that, especially when he shows up and he's butt naked except for socks.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious. So I said some of the things they did, I liked it. I wasn't over the top about it. But
here's the real story why Stone Cold left.
Where Bret Hart found himself victim to corporate scheming. After the event, everyone expected Bret
4
to
minutes.
become a megastar. There was so much sympathy for him, but no, it was the other way round. The WWE didn't falter in his absence. No matter the size of the
So we got 3
superstar or
minutes
the
on
person
that.
who lost him, when the glass broke and the music hit, hilarity. Austin 316 was everywhere, on signs, on t-shirt with time, after years of heroic perfectly.
Yeah, also was making
And
$5
nobody
million a
held
year just on
Austin
the
in
t-shirt.
higher esteem
Yep.
than Vince McMahon. McMahon had suffered in the mid-90s with the intense competition from WCW. He was on the brink of disaster, but with a huge attitude adjustment to the product, he turned the ship around.
And did you know the Stone Cold was the reason Raw stayed afloat?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever even surpassed him in the decades since. But by 2001, he decided to turn heel. And it was a misplaced turn because nobody wanted to hate the rattlesnake. The moment that Austin aligned with Mr. McMahon after his match against The Rock in 2000 with some laugh out, he lobbied for it. After a few years in the character, he wanted to try something new. In 2001, he was basically bored. The heel turn was Austin's attempt to make the character, but the heel turn did a whole bit to move him down the card. And Austin, but in 2002, that was no longer an option. The WWF was the only game left in town. And Austin had changed for Austin. After turns happened, Austin thought that Hogan was years past his prime and didn't believe he'd be able to drop first episode of Raw, but he was still. They were surprised at just how candid Austin's comments were. When asked for his thoughts about the WWF's creative output at the time, he said, "To be honest with you, the whole thing sucks. I'm not happy with the direction Stone Cold is going, and I'm not happy with the direction the whole company is going. I think the writing has been pretty substandard." Austin went on to say that he hadn't been happy since before.
Guys, if you're on our
When the
Spotify,
interviewer asked him what he
you're
thought
about to
of the
end.
WWF's new
It's going to end for you guys on Spotify.
Sorry.
Hop over to YouTube, yeet.tv. We'll be on a few more minutes. But on Spotify, we will see y'all later.
Bye.
Years ago, except now the feud was between Austin and Ric Flair rather than Austin and Vince McMahon. To be fair to Vince McMahon, he did realise Austin's frustrations, and in order to give him something fresh and new to do, they started a program between him and surefire future main eventer Eddie Guerrero. I think this could have been an absolutely thrilling feud if it had ever managed to get off the ground. Unfortunately, it never had the chance. Behind the scenes, Austin had reached the end of his rope with the company. 2002 saw the rapid ascent of Brock Lesnar, who had been dubbed the next big thing. The powers that be wanted Lesnar to face Austin in a King of the Ring qualifying match on the June 10th episode of Raw, but that match would never actually happen. Austin's final breaking points came through a phone call from his friend Jim Ross. JR delivered the news to Austin that he was going to be on the losing end to Lesnar during that King of the Ring qualifier. Austin was being asked to lose to Lesnar on free TV, which was a prospect that really rubbed him up the wrong way. In Austin's eyes, the idea of such a monumental match without any build-up was a wasted opportunity. They wanted me to fly down to Atlanta for Monday Night Raw and put over Brock Lesnar. The night before, I was working in Columbus, Georgia, working with Ric Flair in a cage. So, of course, I didn't show up because it wasn't time for me to do the favours yet for Brock. In an unadvertised match, in a tournament-style TV match, whereas, hey man, I love Brock Lesnar. I'd lose to him any day of the week, but build it up so we can all make money off of it, and it's going to mean something. Austin would distance himself from WWE for the remainder of 2002, and he wasted time, sat at home, watching the sunset years of his career ticking away. And WWE were not shy about spotlighting his sudden departure.
Yeah.
They were all over him. Vince McMahon was clearly very bitter about the entire situation. He famously branded Austin's decision as an act of a petulant child. In one promo, he proclaimed that Austin had taken his ball and gone home. They dedicated an entire episode of Confidential to burying Austin. They went into great detail about how he'd abandoned the company, and WWE even removed his profile from their website. They stopped selling his merchandise and even stopped featuring him in the intro to their television shows. Austin would eventually return to the company, but not until early 2003, after JR reached out to his old friend. This marked the beginning of Austin's final WWE run, which culminated at WrestleMania 19 with a loss to The Rock. But returning to WWE wasn't without its consequences for Austin. When he returned to the business.
On that final match, for the previous 2 months before that, Stone Cold talks about how he'd been having serious tingling and numbness in his hands and his feet,
Right.
from the neck injury that he suffered from Owen Hart. And he said, I just knew that it was time. And, The Rock was an up-and-coming guy. He wasn't super major big yet. And Vince said, okay, you can retire. Your health is more important. Who do you want to put over to take you out or take your place? And he said, The Rock. He said, I didn't even hesitate. He said, Dwayne's a good guy. He works hard. And he deserved it. He said, so I chose Dwayne. And he called him out by name. And he said, I want to put him over. He said, he can take the title and I'll put him over. And after that match was over, if you go back and watch the documentary, for you guys too, The Rock is actually in that documentary. He talks about that moment. And he said, I leaned down and I told him, thank you for everything you've done. It means the world to me. He said, I don't know how I could ever repay you, but I love you. And that's when he stood up. And the push, when he pushed the referee away, was a real push. It wasn't a work. The referee was, coming to check. And he said, I told the referee, get the fuck out of here. And shoved him. Like The Rock really shoved him like he was angry with him. Because he said, that was our moment. I wanted to talk to him. I didn't want to be bothered.
Right.
But he apparently had to make it look like he was talking shit. But, yeah.
All right.
Austin went out on his own terms. 3 times, actually.
So.
But yeah, when you get to the house, look that up.
Well, probably not tonight.
Well, not tonight. But look it up. If I have to, I'll download it and send it, put it on iCloud and send you a link or something.
Okay.
But it's the Austin one will tug at you. He talks about how in 96, 97, I believe, 98 even, his wife, and the kids, he would spend a weekend with them every few months or whatever.
Right.
And he'd throw some steaks on the grill and they'd watch TV and eat dinner. And that was about the gist of their dad's time that they got.
Right.
And when There's something going on. I forget what it was. But she went to England or London or wherever to see her family. And he was always gone. So she just stayed over there. They became estranged. The kids and him didn't have a relationship at all. And he said, if I could go back and change anything, it would be that.
Right.
So it gave me a whole different perspective on the rattlesnake.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long, hard road being in that industry.
Yeah. He when he got into WWE, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Steve Williams. I'm gonna wrestle." And
Yeah, this was before WWE because.
Well, yeah, he got into one of the promotions.
Yeah.
ECW.
But it was before. I mean, well, before when he was with WCW, he was Steve Austin.
Right.
But it was when he was in up and coming in independent circuit.
Right. Well, when he got there, he said, "My name's Steve Williams."
Right, and they said you can't go by Steve Williams because of Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Right. And he's like, I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I couldn't come up with a name. And he goes, "You're Steve Austin."
And he's like, I don't want to be the $6 million man.
Yeah.
So,
and
but it's stuck.
So then I guess Vince had called him, and he was like, "We want you to do the ringmaster gimmick," and he's like, "The fuck." in the documentary, he does not hold any words back.
Right.
He said, "I thought this has got to be coming from the stupidest son of a bitch on the planet," and come to find out it had come from Vince.
Right.
And I guess Austin took a huge gamble when the ringmaster wasn't going anywhere, and they were giving him all these different names to try as a new gimmick, and he was at home eating some food, and his wife at the time said, you better do that before he gets stone cold." And bam,
right,
that's what it was. He said, I threw it all on the line. I put my neck out there. I took the biggest chance I ever taken, and I told him, I said, "I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're going with it." And
he built the character in ECW.
He built in ECW, then he built it more in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he decided to shave his head.
Yeah, and that was while he was first starting with the Stone Cold.
Right.
Because at first he still had, it was short,
fuzz, yeah,
short blonde hair, and then he decided to shave it in ECW.
Yeah. And then he talked about how, with the bald head and no facial hair, he didn't look intimidating or menacing at all. And one day he had just not decided to shave, and he had 2 or 3 days off in between shows, and he looked in the mirror and he saw this bald guy with a mustache and goatee, and he said, that's menacing looking. He said, "Let me try it." So he went to a show with a mustache and a goatee, and it became a trademark look. He wasn't allowed to change it, and he didn't have any catchphrases. He wasn't really big or any popular thing. But Triple H was supposed to win the King of the Ring that year. That the 316 says, "I whooped your ass." He was supposed to win that, and they broke the fourth wall. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and a couple other guys in a steel cage. They hugged each other, and and that cost Triple H the King of the Ring.
Lot. Yeah, because then it ended up being Jake the Snake and
Right.
Austin at the end.
And in Austin's match in the beginning, he got his lip busted open and had to go to the hospital to get stitches. So when he cut that promo, he's got 7 stitches in his mouth. And apparently he had watched what Jake the Snake had said about being a religious thing.
Austin, yeah.
And
John
he said,
3:16.
"Well, Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass."
Yeah.
And then he said he looked over and he saw Vince behind the curtain tapping his wrist saying, "Wrap it up." And he said, "I just came up with it and said in Austin," and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. And he said, "Never in my wildest dreams did I think that those 2 things that I said would catapult me
On
to
the
where
fly,
I got."
off the fly.
He
And
said,
it's never been done before.
"No."
Only time it's ever happened, and never been done.
And he said the following night on Monday Night Raw, they went into wherever they were at. It was in the same city that King of the Ring was in. But they went into Monday Night Raw, and when they came into the arena and saw the fans, they said Austin 316, whoop ass, all these signs were everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "They finally told me, hey, we're going to do a t-shirt for you." And he says, "Do you have any ideas?" And he goes, "As a matter of fact, I do." He said, "Put Austin 316 on the front, put a skull on the back, and engrave Stone Cold in the head." He said, and that's where it just blew
simple idea, and
and
like I said, he made $5 million a year off of the royalties of that shirt.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, the dude's got money,
yeah,
plenty of it. He carried like WWE was going out of business during the Monday Night
Yeah.
Wars and such, and because of Stone Cold, they got
Well,
people's
and
attention.
Stone Cold and Eric Bischoff made a boneheaded
Right.
call
Mhm.
by saying that Mick was going to win the title.
Right.
And instead of people not shifting over, they did because they wanted to see Mick win the title.
Yep.
And that was a game set match at that point.
Yep.
So,
But you just go through and watch those legends and the rival. Man, those shows are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But it is time to wrap up because it's close to 10 o'clock and he's got to be up in 6 hours.
Yeah.
And he's still got about a half an hour drive home.
So yeah.
I got to be up at 6. So don't feel bad.
All right, guys. Well, glad whoever came in and joined us and had a good time.
Ow.
Owie. If not, you watch it later.
It'll be on the channel.
Yep.
Just have fun with it.
So we'll see you later.
Later. Yeet.
Yeet.